Hello future tech leaders, I'm Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. At CloudFoundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds. Join us as we dive into SailPoint, an identity governance technology, and discover how it helps businesses manage security and compliance.
So, before getting to the sales point, let's talk about all the IAM concepts, IAM fundamentals. So, I would like to know what is IAM. First of all, can anyone explain what is IAM? It stands for Identity and Access Management. It stands for Identity and Access Management. All the access or governance activity control of an organization is carried out through IAM. So if any one of you elaborate what is governance and compliance, because we need to understand these terminologies too. So along with this, you have something else called IGA, Identity Governance and Administration, where all the certification campaign and all the audits, control and reviews, access reviews, user management reviews are all part of this governance and IGA related. But access and identity management, it's something where you provide access for any user based on their requirement to perform their job role. So it comes under IAM or not? It does come under IAM. Yes, exactly. So AJ comes under IAM. So governance is all about certification and compliance. User access review, that's fine, but compliance. It does come, it includes compliance to us. So guys, let me put it in a simple way. So IAM is all about identity management and access management. Since we have fresh air, so let me explain. So I was saying you got a project. To run the project, you have to hire employees, you have to hire people so that you can deliver the project on time. In that scenario, the moment you are going to hire people, you have to store all of their data first of all. You have to provide a lot of application access in order to perform their day-to-day activities so that you can deliver the project on time. So here first, you have to manage all of your employee details, employee data. Second, you have to manage all the application data. Third, so these application access will be assigned to the user so that they can perform their day-to-day activities. Its identity, user profile, whatever access assigned to them, you have to manage that too. Along with that, on a periodic basis, you have to review all of your employee access, whether they have the access or not, if they have any unwanted or unauthorized access. We have to because we are the company. Now you can imagine we are the client, whatever may be. So it's our primary task to review all of the employee access, whether they have the access or not, if they have any unwanted or unauthorized access, which means some access has been added accidentally or maybe purposefully, intentionally. So we have to revoke those access, which means we have to remove those access. Along with that, we have to implement risk management. We have to implement a lot of policies. When it comes to policies, we have two types of policies when it comes to IAM. So some generic policies, some SOT policies. So a lot of things we have to manage on our own. So initially, let's imagine we don't have an IAM solution. We don't have IAM concept. So in that scenario, for each and every activity, we have to rely on some other third-party vendor or maybe some third-party tools. But if you're going to implement this IAM solution with the help of IAM concept, we can manage everything from one place. Whatever I have, I said we can manage everything from one place. Not only you have to manage these things, along with that, you have to manage the life cycle of an employee. Employee is going to join a company and definitely he or she is going to leave the company. So, in between you have to manage everything. It's all about life cycle of an employee. And as I said already, you have to manage the user identity. You have to manage their access. They may have some privileged access too. If it is a privileged access, then definitely we should pay more attention to those user identity. And in some project, they will manage the logs as well, user log. So what kind of activities they are performing? If they are going to perform any illegal activity, we have to restrict them and moreover, we have to prevent them as well. And we have to manage their tickets as well because they are going to submit a ticket to gain the application access. If you have 5,000, 10,000 employees, then it's fine. But when you are having more number of users, it would be very difficult to manage everything. And so employee is going to submit a ticket. Employee end user. In that scenario, we have to manage those tickets as well. And along with that, we have to manage their password. We have to manage everything so that whenever the audit comes, we have an evidence to show them. So this is how we have provided this access and this is the proof. And a lot of things are there like role management, SSO management, entitlement management. We'll talk about that later, but we have a lot of things to manage. So that's why we require IAM. So in simple terms, IAM is nothing. It's a set of process. So that we can manage everything on a unified portal on unified place. Set of process, set of policies, and it requires a lot of applications, a lot of tools for defining the process and managing the roles and access privileges of individual network entities. So what does it mean, individual network entities? What does it mean, network entities? Before talk about network entities, are we clear so far? What is? Anyone has any question? Yes, we are clear in the IAM. So when we talk about network entities you can divide into two parts. One users, another one is devices. We have two types of network entities. One is users, another one is devices. Because we have to manage devices too. Who is going to manage the server? Who is going to manage the system, router and all? We are the one. So when I'm referring users may be employees. So we have higher direct employees. Users may be contractor people, joint venture people. They could be customer users, could be customers' partners. So let me make sure. Customers means client here. It could be partners. When I'm going to refer devices, so devices means it could be computers, smartphones, because nowadays we are using smartphones to authenticate. You may have seen Secure ID SA. Have you seen these kind of application, guys? Have you used Workspace? So you can consider computers, smartphones, routers, servers, sensors and controllers. You can consider these things as devices. So we have to manage these two as well. So the core objective of identity and access management is one and digital identity should create a per one network entity. For individual or one item, it could be user or devices, as I said. So we should create one digital identity so that we can, once the digital identity has been created, we can maintain, we can modify, we can monitor throughout the user's life cycle or maybe device life cycle. So we can manage, monitor, track everything with the help of one digital identity. So let's take an example. So we have one employee. For that one employee, one digital identity got created. So once the identity got created, the user can log in into the particular IAM portal. He can submit access request. Basically, it's a ticket. It's kind of ticket. He can submit ticket, and once all the approval in place, he can get the application access. So today he gained some XC application access. After a couple of weeks, he is looking for more application access. Again, he is going to submit access request. So he is not looking for. If some access is not required as of now, he can submit access request to remove those access as well. So he is going to submit access request to gain the application access, to remove the application access. If you want to make any changes, he can submit a ticket again. So we can track with the help of these tickets. If tomorrow audit comes, we can provide these. Access has been provisioned with the help of this ticket. So something like me will have an evidence. So we can track everything. So that's why I said we can monitor, we can track, we can manage and all. So on a high level, so IAM is to grant access to the asset, enterprise company asset, so that user and devices have the permissions. So this includes onboarding users and onboarding applications. Aggregate by permission authorization. Permission authorization means, so we are going to allow the employee so that they will have access on the particular application. The access permission or permission authorization could be read access, or maybe it could be read and write access. And as I said, it's include onboarding users, onboarding applications and onboarding users as well. Offboarding users, offboarding devices, we may have to shut down some server. We may have to. The moment the employee is going to leave the company, we have to remove all his access. So we have to take care of these activities too. Awesome. I think that's all about IAM, guys. I have covered everything. If I missed anything, we can talk about that. So IAM includes that certifications. It's all about user access review. Yesterday we briefly talked about that and policy implementation, everything. So we will talk about in the upcoming chapters. So I want to talk about one important point. So if you are going to implement IAM solution in your project, in your system, we can prevent the cyber attacks too. I didn't talk about that. Are we clear so far? So, and additionally, if you're going to implement IAM process, so you can automate the access certification, which means a governance part. We can automate that process. We can implement the policy management, as I said yesterday. We can drag access request. We can manage the provisioning. If you want to automate the provisioning, we can do that. Password management, identity intelligence, which means that identity monitoring, management and all. And we can onboard a lot of applications. So the moment I'm talking about onboarding application, so with the help of IAM solution, not only say the moment I'm referring IAM solution, which means it's a type of tool. That tool could be any tool. It could be SailPoint. It could be Salient Sundium 4.0, any tool. So what I was saying, so guys, we have to learn this user onboarding process because it's very important since you as a new to IAM or maybe, but we have to talk about this. So what will be the process? You guys take yourself as an example. So when you're planning to join a company, so what activities will be done? I mean, what activities and what will be the process to join a company? We coming on a technical part. No. Simply, we hire a company. As soon as all the formalities are done, so our identity would be created in any of the tool such as Workday. That's what I'm trying to explain. So how the identity is going to create. So that's why we are talking about this user onboarding. As is it, you got an offer letter. And there is a starting date. So after 15th of November, you are going to join a company. That's fine. But how? What will be the next step? So HR people is going to reach you. Correct. So they will be performing a BGP background verification. Exactly. So BGP to perform the background verification. Definitely. They are going to ask a lot of personal data from your end, from employee end. The moment human resource people are going to ask all of the personal data, definitely they are going to somewhere. So let me use the whiteboard. You are an employee. So we have a HR portal. So all the employee information will be stored in the HR portal. So like your first name, last name, all of the personal data, I don't want to get into that. So once your all data has been stored, they will initiate the background verification. So once the background verification is done, so definitely you are going to join any one of the projects. So whatever purpose they have hired you, they are going to enroll into the project, but they will make sure the HR portal could be Workday. Nowadays, HR, these are the advanced application, what we have it now. Like Workday could be one of the HR application and PeopleSoft SuccessFactors. Have you heard this application name? SuccessFactors Employee Central. So these are the HR applications name because they may ask in the interviews which HR application you have onboarded or not. So at least you should know couple of application names. So once HR asks all of your details, and they are definitely going to store all this information in the HR portal, and they will initiate the BGV. Once the BGV is done, you're going to join in a project. That's fine, but they will. So once this activity came to the project, now whatever necessary access needs to be provisioned, whatever necessary access needs to be assigned to your employee so that you can start the work from day one. So what they will do? So this HR source application is already integrated with SailPoint. Not only SailPoint, it could be any application, any IAM solution. So this HR application is already onboarded or integrated with SailPoint. So the moment SailPoint is going to aggregate the data, consume the data from HR portal, the digital identity will be created automatically. This is very important point. This point guys should understand. So identity creation. So identity will be created automatically whenever aggregation is going to happen, which means in this direction, SailPoint will hit this target end. If any optimization, any modification or any new user addition, whatever operation has been done in the source data, it will reflect in the SailPoint with the help of some activity. We will call it as aggregation. So via aggregation, SailPoint will come to know new employee information has been uploaded in this portal. So identity should be created. So identity will be created via this application. Account aggregation. So I'm going to demonstrate that too, but understand. So the identity will be created with the help of Source Aggregation HR application. Source Aggregation and Workday, PeopleSoft, SuccessFactors, Employee Central and Oracle HR application. So these are the example of the HR application. Are we clear on this? So once the identity got created, this identity can log in into SailPoint portal because the employee will receive an email saying your identity got created. You can access the SailPoint URL link and this will be your credential, whatever it may be. Blah blah blah. In the email, everything will be there. So they can log in into SailPoint portal and they can submit access request to gain the access. Or else, in another scenario, once the identity got created, all the necessary access will be provided automatically. We may call it as joiner event or its birthright provisioning. So we will talk about that too later. So now I hope you guys understand how the digital identity is going to create. So let's talk about SailPoint advantages. When current, I mean there are a lot of IAM tools are available in the market. Not only SailPoint, we have a lot of tools. SailPoint is one of the tools. So, apart from SailPoint, what are the IAM tools? You guys know? Can you tell me? Savient. So from my point of view, Savient is the second one. Should be because it has a lot of advanced feature. Same as SailPoint. Savient and new Oracle Identity Manager. Oh. Then comes Microsoft Identity Manager. These are all Identity Manager. Microsoft. Sun. Have you heard? IBM and Tivoli. IBM Tivoli. So you have heard of IBM and Tivoli. Go for it, 40 Rock. Have you heard 40 Rock? Does Cybart has any IAM solution? IAM tools. RSA governance and life cycle. Come again, RSA. LNC, GNC governance and life cycle. We are talking about identity and access management. So identity management it's fine, but that same tool should have access management features as well. I'm not sure in this RSA. Let me know RSA what is the tool name? Oh, RSA governance and life cycle. G. Governance and life cycle. I'm not familiar with this tool. And I've even Tivoli 40 Roxan IDM. I was asking that. So does Cybart has any IAM tool? And is IAM tool? I forgot. Octa is the IAM tool. I have a question. So when we have these much tools in the market, why clients are preferring to implement SailPoint? They could have gone for Savion. They could have implemented OM, FEM or 40 Rock Pocket A. But most of the clients are preferring to implement SailPoint. In the last 5 years, which means SailPoint has some feature which other tools doesn't have. So we'll talk about this advanced feature. If anyone is on the real-time project, can you let me know? You are into real-time project and you are working for SailPoint already. Do we have anyone? We are using SailPoint in our organization. Application access, entertainment creation. Everything will be done using SailPoint. Guys, now you got a clear idea. SailPoint is the IAM tool, identity management tools. So it will help all the organization so that they can manage the employee permission, employee data. They can manage the digital identity so that we can track everything. They can manage all the information security data and all the compliance governance. Everything on a single portal, on a unified portal. That's very important. You can track everything. If you are going to implement this OM or PAM, let's talk about PAM. You cannot do a lot of things like certification. You cannot run a certification. You have to rely on some other third-party window, third-party tool. So if you are going to implement rather than SailPoint, you have lot of features won't be available. You have to rely on some third party. So that's why most of the clients are preferring to implement SailPoint. So that it's like a unified portal. We can do everything. So this SailPoint platform allows the companies to monitor policy violations. I didn't talk about that. So the moment you are going to implement policies, we can track, we can monitor all the policy violation and all the malicious activities. And we can easily identify all this sensitive information with the help of SailPoint. And along with that, SailPoint has some advanced features like artificial intelligence technology and machine learning. So we are going to implement these two features so every company they can automate the access management. They can automate the access management workflow. They can define the user roles very effectively. They can analyze the risk and if there is any changes required, they can implement the changes across all the process. And SailPoint provides the features like threat detection, data classification. So a lot of automated suggestion, not only provisioning, not one certification. You can automate a lot of process. It's like a centralized dashboard. SailPoint is a centralized dashboard, so you can view all the resource information. You'll come to know if any activity is pending from your end. You will take an action on that. And apart from that, you set threat detection using SailPoint. What does that mean? So if any threat is going to happen to the sources, so we can prevent them. So SailPoint detect those threats. What kind of threat and how it will detect? Is there any example? Let's give an example. You are a developer. As per the project SOP company policies, the developers should not get access to the production environment due to XYZ, whatever the reason. Developers should not get production environment access. But you are trying to get this access intentionally. You have submitted access request and your manager approves that by mistake. You got a production environment access, which means you can be a danger to the production environment. So most of the project developer won't get that development environment as a production environment access. They are allowed to have access on the dev environment. So how we are going to prevent this? How we are going to manage this? We should prevent. So that's where we can implement some policies saying developers should not get access to this production environment, blah, blah, blah. We can implement these changes. We can implement this. So in that case, the access will automatically be dropped the moment they sees that the developer is trying to get the access. It depends. So we have a lot of ways. We should not allow that. The developer should get the production environment access. The moment he is trying to submit access request, then and there we can prevent. We should not allow the end user to submit access request. This could be one way. Second way, if you are going to allow accidentally, we can remove the access immediately with the help of certification process, or we can notify the user's manager saying this unauthorized access. Please take action on that. Something like that. We have a lot of ways. Also, admin will get these alerts and the admin will be letting the manager know. So it depends how you have configured. It could be users manager, it could be administrators. It depends. But it could be policy violation owner. Because policy owner will be there. They are responsible for these kind of violations in SailPoint. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.